Hello everybody and welcome back to another Mystery Box Function Challenge. In this purple mystery box there is some math, and your challenge is to figure out what that math is by putting numbers in the top and seeing how they come out changed at the bottom. We'll keep a track of your inputs and outputs and even graph those as ordered pairs, so maybe the shape of the graph will help you understand what the math is. There's a link in the description. You can click on that and get to this page and try out as many numbers as you like. Pause the video while you do that, then come on back and see if I get the same thing. All right, well, we're going to get started on this one. I think I'm going to begin with a 0 like usual. So 0 gives us 0. This could be a lot of things. We've seen lines, we've seen parabolas, we've seen cubic functions, we've seen absolute value functions that could all have this point on the graph, so it doesn't tell us too much. Let's put in a 1. So 1 gave us a negative 0.1, so negative 1/10. So maybe this is a line with a very shallow downward slope. Let's put in a 2. If it's a line, that would then be negative 0.2, I think. But it's not. It's negative 0.4. Let's try 3. And that looks like, well, I'm sure that's a negative 0.9. Sometimes with the math that is done by computers, you get these very small errors. So I would read this as negative 0.9. And this definitely looks like a curve. My only question is it symmetrical across the y-axis? Because I think that would give us a big clue. So I'm going to try the negative 1, 2, and 3 and see what we get. For negative 1, we get a negative 0.1, just like we got for the 1. Let's try negative 2. And that's a negative 0.4 like we got for the positive 2. Let's try negative 3. We should get that negative 0.9. And we do. So we've got a curve. It's symmetrical across the y-axis. Do you have an idea of what this could be? The thing that we've seen that has this kind of pattern, curve, symmetrical across the y-axis, is a parabola. So that would mean there's an x squared involved somewhere, right? However, usually a parabola looks like this. It goes up, faces up. This one's facing down. So I think there's going to be a negative something in front of that x squared. And then clearly this is really wide. So, if you just had y equals x squared, you'd get 0 and then 1 and negative 1, and then 2, 4, 2, negative 4, or sorry, negative 2, 4, and negative 2, 4, and it would be like that. We don't have that, so it's upside down. Well, I think we can get a clue about what might be multiplied here by looking at this one. Because when you square, or this one, same difference. When you square 1, you get 1. So this value would be 1, and what we get here is negative 1/10. So I'm thinking that's what's being multiplied. Let's just fill that in. And actually, that might be our whole function. Let's test that with another value or 2 that we have. So let's put in 2 for x squared. So if we put in 2 for x squared, we get 2 squared times a negative 1/10. 2 squared, is 4, and 4 times a negative 1/10 would be negative 4/10. And that's exactly what we got. If we put a 3 in, 3 squared would be 9 here. That would be a negative 9/10. And although we've got a little error with the computer multiplication here, or addition or subtraction here, we get negative 9/10. So I think we've got, our candidate here is f of x equals negative 1/10 x squared. Can we put one more number in here and test it? I think actually I'm going to put in the number 10, because 10 squared would be 100, and 100 times negative 1/10 would equal negative 10. So if we put in 10, we should get negative 10. Let's let me turn off this pen and let's give that a try. And we got a negative 10. Oh, and there it is way down here. I think we've got it. I'm going to go ahead and reveal this. Yes, so f of x is negative 1/10 x squared. And then let's graph this as well. Oh, look at that beautiful wide arc. Looks like that arch in St. Louis. Wonderful. Well, how did that go for you? I think this was a difficult one. Maybe difficult to figure out what the multiplier was on the x squared. Did you see that it was a quadratic, or did this one stump you? I'd love to know. Thanks, everybody.